All right, so what exactly is Mindseye? It's not GTA, it's not Cyberpunk for sure, but it might be something we actually haven't seen before. And honestly, that has me curious. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Grandpa Casual, and today we are talking about Mindseye. All right, it's a game that's dropping on June 10th for around the $60 mark, which is great in today's climate. And it's coming from a studio called Build a Rocket Boy. And this studio was actually put together by an ex GTA dev named Leslie Bensies. Now, that could mean that it does have some firepower behind it, but we know that past performance does not indicate future results. So just because you put together something good in the past doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna come out with something crazy after. But having somebody like that on the project definitely adds to the amount of confidence that I have in the project for sure. But the big question is, does it actually look like something that you want to play? And on top of that, does it seem like it has a world that you will want to dive in, let's say after a long day of work or a long shift or something like that? And I think the biggest question here is, given all the comparisons this game has gotten to GTA, will it scratch that GTA itch that we all have? So let's break it all down. What Mindseye is, what we know so far, and what I hope this game actually turns out to be. So if you haven't heard of Mindseye, which is understandable, it's actually part of a larger platform called Everywhere. Now you could think of Everywhere almost like Roblox for adults. And according to what we learned about this thing so far, it's really about giving players the tools to build, create, and connect. Kind of vague, but I kind of get the basis around it. So I see this as a sandbox where you can build experiences and have other people interact with those experiences and share them with others. Similar to Roblox, like I said. I could see the platform being similar to Roblox, but kind of being more mature in its nature and allowing for creators to really create more interesting things with it. So Mindseye itself isn't going to be a situation where you craft games yourself and make experiences. It's already handcrafted for you. And I think that this is twofold because one, it's going to be an experience for you to enjoy, to take in, to play, and really just dive into. But also it's going to serve as an example of what the capabilities of this thing is. And from the looks of Mindseye, the game looks great. It looks awesome. So based off of Mindseye alone, I can already tell that if creatives actually had the opportunity to dive into this thing and really get into the weeds with it, that they would make some awesome stuff. As far as the vibe for Mindseye, it does have that GTA flavor to it, but I would take it a step further and say that it has a little bit of that Red Faction energy as well, and even a little Deus Ex, given the whole sci-fi cybernetic thing that's going on with it. But based on the trailers that we've gotten so far, which there weren't many, here's what we know. So you play as a former soldier who was implanted with some kind of tech called the Mind's Eye. And after the war or whatever operation he was a part of, I guess we'll find that out in the game, the tech gets deactivated and he loses all memory of who he was back then and all the information. I guess that's how they kept things classified, which is kind of interesting. But overall, something happens and we don't know yet, but the tech kicks back on. So I'm thinking you're going to be a guy with dangerous knowledge and have people hunting you down for sure, and likely have some crazy powers on top of that he really doesn't fully understand. It's a really classic kind of setup, but it's solid and it works for me for sure. And like I said, visually the game looks impressive. We're talking about car chases, high speed crashes, explosions, shootouts, even mech. So there definitely seems to be some depth here, which is great. But we really haven't gotten much information here. So given that, there's only one thing that we can really do right now, right? And that is speculate. So here's what I'm really hoping for. First off, this ain't GTA 6. It's not going to be that. I get that. But given that an ex-GTA dev is working on this, I really hope that it has some of that DNA within it, given some of the things that make GTA fun. And obviously, one of the most fun features of a GTA game is the autonomy, right? The freedom that you have within that game to do whatever it is that you like. So I mentioned Red Faction earlier because I really enjoyed that game in the past. And what I really enjoyed about that system was that you were given tasks, you were given missions like disrupt a convoy or take out a base, but you weren't given clear instruction on how to do it. You were just given the tools to do it. So I really found that interesting and it really made for a fun gameplay loop for me, and it actually added to the replayability of it. So I really do feel like having the ability to approach missions the way that you want within the game is something that extends the replayability and the life of the game, because now you can go back to missions that you've done before and say, hey, you know what? I liked how I did it before, but guess what? I want to try it this way. Or maybe I didn't complete this as flawlessly as I wanted to. So let me go back and try it again and see if I did this flawlessly, if I would have a different outcome. So given what they're saying about the Everywhere platform, about it being free and giving people tools, they should actually implement that into the gameplay as well and give me the freedom to just approach things in a sandbox kind of way and give me the opportunity to do that. The game Red Faction Guerrilla was really good for that, and I really hope that is an itch that Mindseye actually scratches for me. But as far as it scratching that GTA itch, I don't really know, man. It really depends on the gameplay and how the moment-to-moment gameplay pans out. Because it's one thing to show all the explosions and high-octane chases in a trailer, but when it's in-game, I really want to be able to feel like I caused these explosions, or let a situation spiral out and have interesting ways of me escaping them. I think all of that comes together and creates a really fun, immersive, and entertaining experience at the end of the day. But obviously the game does have potential and we'll definitely learn more as we go, but I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments. Are you excited for Mindseye? Have you been keeping an eye on it? I'm always down to have conversations with you all. And also consider liking and subscribing if you're into having grounded conversations around gaming. We do this all the time. And with that said, thank you so much for chilling with me today, and I will see y'all in the next one, man. Peace.